as well, as this will take them over 27 minutes time of possession so far. Only about 13.5 minutes for he's got another Texas A&M first down. Major Burns made the stop. 11 more yards for the ground attack for Texas A&M, and that's allowing them to work on the clock as well, as this will take them over 27 minutes time of possession so far. Only about 13.5 minutes for conversions and 4 tries for Texas A&M.
You want to talk about an offense taking on the identity of their head coach. This is the slobber knocker, gritty type of football that Elijah Robinson wants his team to play. You see him there on the sideline. He's invigorated this crew. They must be playing fireman on the sideline, because every competitive situation they have won today, and they're doing it at an extremely high level.
Now it's David Bailey Jr.'s turn. And that's the 10th play of this drive. So RG3, it is another double-digit play drive for Texas A&M. And that keeps the LSU offense sitting and watching.
Yeah, and not just the fact that LSU's offense is sitting on the sideline and watching, but this defense, it's not even the fourth quarter yet. And the LSU this year has not necessarily been known to have the best defense. So how tired are they going to be come the last 2-3 minutes of the fourth quarter if they've been on the field the entire game?
Henderson stutter steps and throws it away. So now it's a 3rd down and long in the red zone. LSU with a chance to possibly get a stop as Braden Swinson put the pressure on Jalen Henderson. 3rd down and 10.
A big thing for Bobby Petrino coming into this game was allowing Jalen Henderson to utilize his full skill set. But like Elijah Robinson told us in the first half, they have to finish this possession with a kick, whether it's a touchdown and an extra point or kicking a field goal. So for Henderson, he's got to be really protective of the football here and not give this LSU defense a chance to create a spark.
Walker, Smith, and Thomas out to the
man is playing with passion, and there's a reason. He's a semifinalist for the Bednarik Award.
That's Neighbors in motion. 2nd and 10 for Daniels with a pump fake. Steps up. And he escapes somehow to keep the play alive. It took the 3rd and 4th rusher to finally get there to bring him down. And Bryce Anderson on a nickel blitz helped out Edgerrin Cooper for what ultimately is a 1-yard sack that may take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. We'll see. LSU's going to line up, although Daniels goes down on one knee, hopefully just to adjust his cleats. He's okay, but down to the final 5 seconds of the quarter. And that will take us to the end of the 3rd. So it'll be 3rd and long to start off the 4th quarter for LSU in a 3-point game. As Jaden Daniels fought the good fight, but eventually was dropped for a sack after the 3rd quarter. Third down with that Jalen Henderson scramble. And these long double-digit play drives continue for Texas A&M.
Yes, they are. And the most amazing thing about it for Henderson is he's doing this while going through progressions. These aren't designed quarterback runs. And how about that? You come to Death Valley in your first experience here, and you're playing on money down 3rd downs better than really anybody today so far.
A rollout for Henderson, looking back to the sideline. It's not there. He'll tuck it under again. Cuts it upfield. And he's got 7 more yards before Paris Shan brings him down.
So when you look at Jalen Henderson on 3rd downs today, boom, right here, finds Anaya Smith for a 1st down. Oh, here's another one to Moose Muhammad. He's getting everybody involved. Oh, don't forget about Jade Walker on the corner route. Then he's going to hit his man, Jake Johnson, for the touchdown when they sneaked out. He's 8 for 8 for 106 yards and a touchdown. I mean, holy smokes, guys.
Turning the corner. Le'Veon Moss. He's got another Texas A&M 1st down. Major Burns made the stop. 11 more yards for the ground attack for Texas A&M. And that's allowing them to work on the clock as well, as this will take them over 27 minutes time of possession so far. Only about 13 and a half minutes for He's got another Texas A&M first down. Major Burns made the stop. 11 more yards for the ground attack for Texas A&M. And that's allowing them to work on the clock as well, as this will take them over 27 minutes time of possession so far. Only about 13 and a half minutes for fourth down conversions and 4 tries for Texas A&M.
You want to talk about an offense taking on the identity of their head coach. This is the slobber knocker, gritty type of football that Elijah Robinson wants his team to play. You see him there on the sideline. He's invigorated this crew. They must be playing fireman on the sideline, because every competitive situation they have won today, and they're doing it at an extremely high level.
Now it's David Bailey Jr.'s turn. And that's the 10th play of this drive. So RG3, it is another double-digit play drive for Texas A&M. And that keeps the LSU offense sitting and watching.
Yeah, and not just the fact that LSU's offense is sitting on the sideline and watching, but this defense, it's not even the fourth quarter yet. And the LSU this year has not necessarily been known to have the best defense. So how tired are they going to be come the last 2-3 minutes of the fourth quarter if they've been on the field the entire game?
Henderson stutter steps and throws it away. So now it's a 3rd down and long in the red zone. LSU with a chance to possibly get a stop as Braden Swinson put the pressure on Jalen Henderson. 3rd down and 10.
A big thing for Bobby Petrino coming into this game was allowing Jalen Henderson to utilize his full skill set. But like Elijah Robinson told us in the first half, they have to finish this possession with a kick, whether it's a touchdown and an extra point or kicking a field goal. So for Henderson, he's got to be really protective of the football here and not give this LSU defense a chance to create a spark.
Walker, Smith, and Thomas out to the
Man is playing with passion, and there's a reason. He's a semifinalist for the Bednarik Award.
That's Neighbors in motion. 2nd and 10 for Daniels with a pump fake. Steps up escapes somehow to keep the play alive. It took the third and fourth rusher to finally get there to bring him down, and Bryce Anderson on a nickel blitz helped out Edger and Cooper for what ultimately is a 1-yard sack that may take us to the end of the third quarter. We'll see. LSU's going to line up, although Daniels goes down on one knee, hopefully just to adjust his cleats. He's okay, but down to the final 5 seconds of the quarter. And that will take us to the end of the third. So it'll be third and long to start off the fourth quarter for LSU and a 3-point. Well, A&M 9 for 15 on third down. LSU 4 for 7. Third down and long, though, to open up the fourth quarter. Here comes a blitz. Daniels backpedals. Extends the play with a stiff arm. Throws one across his body, incomplete. Tried to find Neighbors. And there is one of those stops, but it goes Texas A&M's way to start the fourth quarter.
And I want you guys to watch number 45 on this play. Edger and Cooper. He is the designated quarterback spy, and he seeks out Jaden Daniels with a vengeance, forces him to have to throw that football back across his body before he was truly ready to. This A&M defensive line and linebacking core has done an amazing job of cage rushing Jaden Daniels in those crucial situations so that he can't get out and use his legs.
Anaya Smith doesn't call for a fair catch and gets spun down. And a little something extra after the play's over. Slade Roy with a terrific tackle on special teams. Time now for today's weekend lineup, brought to you by Wendy's Beef and rivalry games galore. Florida State, Florida tonight at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Number 1 Georgia taking on Georgia Tech at 7:30 Eastern on ABC. A ton of rivalry weekend college football games for you to enjoy this afternoon and tonight.
Of course, the game with the biggest implications there is the Florida State-Florida game, but an amazing stat for you, Bob, here. Jaden Daniels, when in every scoring drive that they've had, he had a 20-yard rush. Right there, Edger and Cooper sniffing him out on that play was huge to get them off the field.
Low snap and a cutback run for Daniels for a couple. Jordan Jefferson, Jacoby, and Guillory combine on the stop. Back to Matt.
All right, Bob, statement drive out of Ohio State. 8 consecutive runs capped off by Trevion Henderson. We're tied at the Big House, 17-all.
Wow. Just wondering how many screens you probably have to have going today if you're a true college football fan. Anaya Smith coming up big for the first time in a while, breaking tackles close to midfield before he's finally brought down.
You know, if you're Anaya Smith, it's pretty awesome when no one guards you. You're going to see they blitz off the slot. No one guards him. Omar Speights doesn't get over there to cover his guy that's blitzing, and Anaya Smith does the rest. Easy completion for Jalen Henderson. Throwing it to the wide open guy, throwing into the pressure, which is what you're always taught as a quarterback, even in high school.
A little delay for Henderson, and he throws it away. Second down and 10 near midfield as Jefferson and Jones were bringing pressure. That Anaya Smith catch was his first of the second half.
You know, Bob, it's not very often that you get a quarterback like Jalen Henderson, who is the third quarterback on the depth chart, who's able to come in and play the way that he has today and really even the past 2 weeks. But when we talked to Bobby Petrino, he talked about how his teammates love him and the wide receivers all play hard for him because they want to see him have success.
4 yards for Amari Daniels. As we detailed in the first half, if you have followed Texas A&M this season, you know it's been an injury carousel, basically. Connor Wigman started off the year. We were calling the Auburn game back in late September when he went down with a foot injury. Max Johnson came in and played very well in an A&M win, but his rib injury suffered against Ole Miss knocked him out. He, of course, went to LSU, wanted to play today, tried to fight through the injury this week, and just couldn't make it. So here's Jalen Henderson looking for another third down conversion, and he throws an interception. Greg Penn able to haul it in, and the first takeaway for the LSU defense
completion and that first down is the most important thing to get any drive rolling. How about that LSU defense finally giving the offense a spark here in this game?
Play action for Jaden Daniels. Over the middle. Wide open Chris Hilton. His first catch inside the 25-yard line before he's brought down.
Chris Hilton with a nice hammer route across the middle of the field. You're going to see Jaden Daniels work left to right on his radio dial and hit him. Nice in stride, give him an opportunity to continue driving up the field.
That's Tyreek Chappelle, the outside.
ESPN College Football is presented by Zales, the Diamond Store, Love Real, and in part by Taco Bell. Download the Taco Bell app and vote for this month's Live Más Student section.
Gotta love the LSU band at halftime in the shape of the Heisman Trophy, supporting Jaden Daniels and his effort to try and win the Heisman. He is struggling a bit today, though. Bob Wischusen here with Robert Griffin III, Chris Button as well. And you know what? Happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving. Our own turducken made its way to the booth, remembering John Madden, of course.
I've never had turducken before, Bob.
Oh, get after it. Yeah, beautiful.
Very, very good. Delicious.
Jaden Daniels looking for the end zone. Touchdown! Brian Thomas Jr. does it again from 23.
Well, you saw the Heisman at halftime that we just showed you. And Jaden Daniels is going to have a Heisman-type finish.
Perkins helps on the sack. Deshaun Womack, the freshman from Baltimore, there as well.
And you talk about all those different guys, but it's this man right here in the middle. I'm talking about Harold Perkins Jr. Watch how he sits, and then fires up the field to keep Jalen Henderson from getting outside the pocket. He's just sitting there spying, and now he's on attack mode. Then he gets him to funnel right back into all of those guys that you've mentioned that ended up getting that sack, including Womack.
Low snap. And a line drive kick, returnable potentially for Clayton. Makes the first man miss. Gets to the 45. Almost broken. Still great field position for LSU with a 4-point lead after a 9-yard return.
Zone. That's your quarterback and your wide receiver being on the same page.
Downhill run. Josh Williams fights his way for about a yard. Daniels, by the way, now up to 154 yards passing with 2 touchdowns to go along with 110 yards rushing. So he's got over 360 yards of total offense, rather 260 yards, pardon me, of total offense. Still well shy of the 417 he normally puts up. A rollout. Avoids a sack. Throws it away. Got outside the pocket and just heaved it. Shamar Stewart was all over him.
I mean, he took a licking after that one. Nice job in the backfield, making a guy miss.
The title game has come up with the win. What will happen this year? Georgia's got Georgia Tech. Alabama's got the Iron Bowl.
To 8:35, please. 8:35. It'll start on the snap.
So both teams have rivalry games to worry about before they get to the SEC title game. And a big third down here as we approach the midway point of the 4th quarter. LSU trying to build on their lead. Blitz coming. Jaden Daniels misses Neighbors. He was wide open. So now 4th down. And I'm not sure if they feel as if they are comfortably inside field goal range for Damian Ramos. But they don't have to worry about it. Did not even see a flag on the field, but there was one thrown on the far side for defensive holding.
And they called that defensive holding on Damani Richardson. So even though Jaden Daniels and Neighbors were not able to link up, they get a fresh set of downs, courtesy of the defense.
So a 3rd down conversion via penalty. Another blitz. One-on-one for Neighbors. He's got it. Touchdown.
Oh my goodness.
Catch by Malik Neighbors.
Oh my goodness. Wait till you see this one. Malik Neighbors and Jaden Daniels. We're going to see if he was in here, but it looked like he was to me. Here's the catch. There's the foot. In college football, you only need one. Looks like he controls it all the way to the ground. And there it is right there. It was ruled a touchdown on the field. And you see the emotion from Malik Neighbors. Says, stop playing with me. Goes up top. Makes a play. I was actually on the field earlier in the game watching these guys warm up. And look at that. Catch. Foot in. Controls it all the way to the ground.
Does he?
The question is the movement as it goes to the ground enough to say he didn't have control anymore? To me, woo, that's close now.
That
to me, the
pylon cam look didn't reveal much.
The fact that they called this a touchdown on the field is what leads me to believe that it'll remain the same. Unless they believe that right there shows that it came out enough. We could slow that down a little bit there at the end, just so the viewer can fully see. The foot is clearly in, clearly has possession of the football at that point. But now it's once he hits the ground.
Yeah, he's clearly in bounds. The only issue here is control.
Correct. I mean, look at that. Just the acrobaticness of that catch.
Is that a word? I like that word.
You like that?
Acrobaticness.
Acrobaticness.
Yes, we're putting that one officially.
I just made that.
Into the football lexicon.
I just made that one up. Almost like that turducken was scrumptious. You know what I mean? You've never heard that one either, have you, Bob?
Well, after the worst starting field position of the game for Texas A&M produced the best starting field position of the game for LSU. They're looking for back-to-back touchdown drives to their two big wide receivers, as Brian Thomas with a terrific catch in the back right corner of the end zone to give LSU the lead. And on the left side of the end zone, at least for now, Malik Neighbors has been credited with a touchdown catch to extend the Bayou Bengals advantage. Let's see what replay says. And RG3, as you said perfectly, when you set that precedent on the field of touchdown, you have to see with indisputable video evidence that they were wrong. And I don't know that any look that we got showed that he lost control of the ball completely.
Exactly. You talked about how they just threw the touchdown to Brian Thomas Jr. And Malik Neighbors came back and said, hey, man, remember those commercials back in the day with Mia Hamm and Michael Jordan? Anything you can do, I can do better. Unbelievable catch. Can't wait to draw that one up for you guys here after the extra point.
And after Daniels with only 52 yards passing in the first half, now he's got 123 and 2 touchdowns in the second half.
Correct. So this is Malik Neighbors, and this is the matchup that they're going to attack right here. He's going to stutter up step here and then run that box fade, which is a throw that this man right here, Jaden Daniels, is throwing better than any quarterback in the country. So as we let this bad boy roll, watch what Jaden Daniels does. Holds his eyes down the middle, then gets him there immediately with that rocker step. Finds the Wi-Fi connection, and like we said earlier in the game, like a good neighbor, Malik is always there. What a catch, man. Once again, just watch, just poetry in motion there. Best quarterback in the country, most dynamic quarterback in the country, and the best receiver in the country. Getting a ride from his big offensive lineman, Charles Turner III.
A knuckleball kick. Short hops down to Teves. I think that's a face mask.
Oh my goodness.
So this extra 15 yards will push the ball out close to the 35-yard line or so for Texas A&M. But now it's a 2-score lead for LSU.
Personal foul, face mask on the kicking team, number 5. 15-yard added to the end of the run. Touchdown.
So LaTerrence Welch called for the face mask penalty.
I mean, my man's name is Tease, but this was not a tease at all. He just tried to rip this dude's face off. That is dangerous. I don't know if you ever had a helmet on and had someone pull your face mask, but to pull it completely backwards like that, oh my goodness.
All right, you are a Heisman voter. You won the trophy yourself. Based on the resume so far, if I would have told you that Jaden Daniels today would throw for 175 yards and 3 touchdowns and run for another 110, would that be enough to push him over the top, knowing that Michael Penix still has 2 more opportunities to impress the voters, and Bo Nix did a good job last night as well. As they set up the tight end screen, Max Wright rumbles out near midfield with a gain of about 9. What do you think?
Bob, I strongly felt coming into this game, all Jaden Daniels needed to do was win the football game. We got a guy down on the field right now.
That's the touchdown scorer, Mark Naboo.
Man.
The big left guard, who on the offensive lineman dive got the last score for Texas A&M. It's been 21 unanswered points for LSU since Naboo's score.
And you'll see big old number 54 right there in the middle. Kind of just gets bent in on. You see the brace give a little bit there. It's a lot of weight on the inside there for him at 325 pounds. But these big dudes inside are
so
not really hitting.
Daniels, you said from the start of today's game that you thought the most important thing for Jaden Daniels was to win the game today. They've got a 2-score lead now with 8 minutes to go as the training staff continues to work on Mark Naboo. But statistics, when you're building your resume, have to continue to be built and matter. And you know, he wanted to add another terrific statistical day to what has been a magical season so far. Yeah,
and I think the most important thing, as I said before, was winning the game. And the thing that he adds to the Heisman race that none of the other quarterbacks have done to the level that he has is his ability to run the football. So having 110 yards rushing isn't anything to just be like, oh, whatever. No, no, no. In today's football and playing the quarterback position, it is your job to move the chains. It is your job to score points, and it's by any means necessary. And no one does it better in the country than Jaden Daniels with his arm and with his legs. That is the difference for him amongst the other candidates. So if the game ended right now, I believe Jaden Daniels has already done enough to win the Heisman Trophy.
Well, he's a big reason why LSU is the only FBS team in the top 10 in America in rushing and receiving yards. Avoiding a hit is Henderson. Flips one. Out in the left flat. Looking to get loose was Anaya Smith. And it looks as if he steps out of bounds near midfield. Has enough for a first down if the play stands.
Illegal player downfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
So that will come back. A 5-yard penalty called against Texas A&M.
Now if you're Texas A&M,
the pass did not go beyond the line of scrimmage, therefore there is no foul.
So he said the pass didn't go beyond the line of scrimmage, but you're going to see big old number 60, Trey Zoom III. I mean, that's the understatement. He is super down the field, but because it happened behind the line of scrimmage, it doesn't matter. They pick up the flag and you move on. But if you're A&M, now you got to open it up and throw the football a little bit. 7 minutes left in this game. You're down by 2 scores. You got to trust the young man to get you back into it.
4-man rush off the wrong foot. A terrific throw by Jalen Henderson and breaking free all the way down to the goal line. Is right. Is he in? Touchdown.
Now that's how you make up for dropping that ball on 4th down earlier in the game. Max Wright, the former defensive end, just went out here on a simple out route off of a chip. Breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle, and he's still rumbling and stumbling to the end zone. And here is the progressive pylon cam of that glorious run into the end zone by Max Wright, giving full effort to try to get A&M back into this bad boy, and he did just that.
Well, Texas A&M normally isn't the quick strike offense, but that took barely over a minute. A 51-yard catch and run by Max Wright. And now they will line up to go for 2 to try and cut the lead down to 3.
Ooh! Nice job by Max keeping that knee up and not allowing it to hit the ground before the ball crossed the plane for that touchdown. And here they are going for 2. We got ourselves a game, Bob.
Anderson with Reuben Owens to his right. Henderson heading left. Lobs a jump ball in the end zone. Incomplete. Tried to get it to Jahdae Walker. And was broken up. Xavion Jones was all over Jalen Henderson, forcing that lob of a throw. So it is a 5-point game midway through the 4th quarter.
So here on this two-point conversion, we saw earlier in the game Jalen Henderson throwing up to Jahdae Walker, and he made him right. This time he said, I'm going to go back to the well. And he almost did with that one-handed catch there, but just quite couldn't pull it in with all those LSU defenders underneath him. And when you look at this touchdown by Max Wright, he is literally right here. This is Max Wright. He's going to chip this defender and then run a 5-yard out route. This, to me, is the embodiment of a quarterback just taking what the defense gives you and it making you right. He works through 3 reads, gets it to Max Wright, and allows his tight end to do the rest. Don't be afraid, quarterbacks at home, to throw the check down. Because if you get it to the right spot on the field, you have to trust that the guy that you're getting it to will make you right. And right there, Max was all over it.
A touchback here. It'll come out to the 25 for LSU, protecting a 5-point lead. Let's go back to Matt.
All right, big game, Bob. Things are happening across the country, just like in your game. Moments ago, Marvin Harrison Jr. across the middle of the field makes it 27-24 Michigan. 8:05 left in the fourth quarter. After an inexcusable Devin Leary interception, 4th and 6, Louisville on the possession after the interception. Amari Huggins bruised for the touchdown. We're tied at 31 in Louisville. Kentucky ball driving.
Jaden Daniels back to work here on a rollout. Finds the soft spot. Catch and run again from Malik Neighbors. Down the sideline. Stays in bounds. Malik Neighbors with a flag down. It's a potential touchdown. Unless he stepped out, we'll have to check the marker.
They're going to call a block in the back holding on Kyron Lacey on the sideline. It's what sprung Malik Neighbors down that sideline. Amazing catch and run, by the way. Holy cow.
Holding on the offense, number 2. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It's first down.
And you'll see this. I've always said that, you know, good games turn into big games, turn into touchdowns when wide receivers block on the outside. But Kyron Lacey, they run this boot, they get it to Malik Neighbors on the sit, and then as Malik Neighbors is rounding the corner, it's right there. Number 2, holding, throws the guy on the ground. He does a nice job of sealing off the sideline at first, and then right here, Kyron Lacey, keep going, let him go, let him go. And then it'll honestly be a touchdown. But that comes back, still a big gain there by Malik Neighbors.
Still netted them 35 yards, even with the penalty. Logan Diggs. A gain of 4.5. Bryce Anderson made the tackle. If Texas A&M allows a field goal here, it's still a 1-possession game. If LSU scores a touchdown, that might be too deep of a hole for the Aggies, down by 5. So this possession could decide the game. Texas A&M. Worst case scenario needs to allow only 3. Best case scenario, they get a takeaway or a stop.
And they got a nice one-on-one to the bottom of your screen with Kyron Lacey with no help from the safety over the top.
Play clock winding down with LSU looking over.
LSU. 30-second timeout.
So they will call a timeout. And again, college football's rivalry weekend continues tonight on ESPN and ABC. On ESPN, it's Florida State, Florida at 7 Eastern as the Noles look to, with the backup quarterback, Trent Rodemaker, in, stay undefeated and make the college football playoff. And, of course, the #1 team in America will take on Georgia Tech for the 115th time at 7:30 Eastern. That game on ABC. And right now, Georgia and Florida State, 2 of the 3 longest active win streaks in FBS. And Georgia has tied the SEC record 28 in a row.
I mean, that better be an SEC record. Holy cow. 28? They've just been obliterating people all season long, feels like.
After the LSU timeout, 2nd down and 6. That's Lacey in motion. Blitz. Jaden Daniels out of the pocket. No one down the right sideline to stop him if he gets a step, and he stumbles out of bounds. I think he had eyes for the end zone before he stumbled out with a gain of 10. And he comes back with a little hitch in his giddy-up.
Yeah, they do a nice job trying to cage rush him again, but it's right here. Fadil Diggs misses him. Chris Russell Jr. gets enough of him so that he has to go out of bounds. But when you do those cage rushes, when he tries to break that initial line of scrimmage, you have to get hands on him.
Might be a free play. They'll take a shot. Brian Thomas Jr. broken up at the goal line. Deuce Harmon was there in coverage.
Offside on the defense, number 5. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So Shamar Turner jumped. Daniels saw it and took a shot with the free play.
Yeah, you'll see Shamar Turner jump off sides. Nice job by the center. Tries to take advantage of it, giving this guy an opportunity down the field. It's just a drop. You see Brian Thomas Jr.'s reaction like, man, I should have had that one.
1st and 5, just outside the red zone. And a gain of only a yard on 1st down for Caleb Jackson, the freshman. Another tackle for Edgerrin Cooper.
Man, this Texas A&M defensive front 7 has been impressive all day when it comes to shutting down the running game from the running backs. They've had some struggles allowing Jaden Daniels to get outside the pocket and create the magic that we know that he does, but they've done a really nice job responding today to after some of those big plays, resettling themselves and getting back to owning the line of scrimmage.
Daniels with a pump fake. He's going to try for the back right corner of the end zone, laying out. And just missing again was Brian Thomas Jr. And that'll stop the clock with 5:05 to go and set up 3rd down.
Nice coverage here by Bravion Rogers. They try to hit him with the double move. He stays in it, gets his hands on the receiver at the top of that route. And just 2 yards too far.
Big play here. 3rd down and 4 with just over 5 minutes to go. They'll run it right up the middle. Logan Diggs. It looks like he's got it by a half yard. And that will allow LSU
or there's something going on in his personal life, but the quarterback is right there consoling him. His teammates love him, and you can see the emotion pouring out.
Tipped ball, incomplete. A miss for Max Wright and Jalen Henderson. So now it will be 3rd down and 6 with 3.5 minutes to go.
And as you said, Bob, they certainly do need to score fast. But in order to score, they got to get this first down. 3rd and 6. You would honestly think that this is 4-down territory anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to maybe sneak in a run here. But if they're going to throw it, it all starts with this man right here in the slot. Oh, we'll get back to that look in a second, but it's Anaya Smith there in the slot.
Anderson tripped up short of the first down line to gain. Good open field tackle by Harold Perkins. So they have to go for it. Down by 2 scores with 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go or so. And the clock rolling. So not only must they go for it, but they need 2 scores, and a lot of time is winding off the clock here.
Oh, yeah, and they've sacrificed Harold Perkins Jr.'s ability to rush the passer to make him be the quarterback spy today, and he's been really, really effective at that for the entirety of this game. Look for him right here on this play.
3-man rush, a lob to the sideline, way over the head of Noah Thomas, and incomplete. So a turnover on downs. LSU with a 12-point lead, 2:48 to go, will take over in the red zone.
Yeah, and he tries to work his one-on-one on the outside. You see Moose Muhammad is covered, but in that situation, for Jalen Henderson, you have to keep the ball in bounds. Give your receiver a chance to make this play. The trainer on the sideline caught it with his foot. You got to be able to pull that one down. Underthrow before you overthrow, especially there on 4th down.
So a chance for Jaden Daniels again to maybe pad the stats, some style points in his final Heisman Trophy resume game.
I mean, the guy's got 40 touchdowns passing. His stats are more than equipped to be a Heisman Trophy winner.
They'll run it with Noah Cain.
And here's the thing, for me in this game, early on, Jaden could have been extremely selfish. Tried to audible plays, call plays for himself to get those touchdowns because everyone's trying to finish the year strong. He didn't do that. His main focus today was winning the football game, going up against the #1 total defense in the SEC. 2nd on 3rd downs, 1st against the run, 2nd against the pass. And all he did was come out here and throw 4 touchdown passes and lead his team to victory. If that's not a statement game, I don't know what is.
Cain again. And I think he's got a first down. If Texas A&M is not going to use their timeouts, LSU could go to victory formation. At this point, they could simply take a knee. And Jaden Daniels is going to celebrate what he knows will be a season-capping win. 9-3 will be LSU, as they'll be looking for another 10-win season in whichever bowl game they have the opportunity to play in. And Jaden Daniels, at the very least, will have 4 more touchdowns accounted for as Noah Cain spins down to the 5-yard line, and that will take us under a minute to go.
Jaden Daniels is the most electrifying college football player in the country. He's the most dynamic, and he's the biggest cheat code in all of college football. If you're asking me, after today, going up against the best defense they faced all season long, LSU just won its 3rd Heisman Trophy.
And with Texas A&M not calling their timeouts, Brian Kelly tells Jaden Daniels, victory formation for LSU in his final game here in Death Valley on Senior Day. Will this one last exclamation point be enough when it comes time for the Heisman voters to make their decision? I'm standing next to one. I know you're undecided, but that's a pretty good way to end the season if you're Jaden Daniels.
Oh, it's a huge way to end the season. A great comeback. Coming into this game, Jaden Daniels had more explosive plays than 84 FBS schools. Not players, schools by himself. And now when you look at what he was able to pull off today, it wasn't always easy. But when it got going in a hurry. Touchdown pass on the fade to Brian Thomas Jr. Here's another back shoulder to Malik Neighbors with the 1 foot in. And then he comes back and he hits one to his main man, Kyron Lacey. All day long, Jaden Daniels was finding the Wi-Fi connection and airdropping beauties.
Let's go down to Chris Button with the man of the hour.
Jaden, during the first half of this football game, Texas A&M controlled the clock. You guys were down by 10. How'd you find the rhythm on your offense?
We just kept going. At the end of the day, we had guys like him making plays, but, the coach said we just adjust. We just kept going. We got in the rhythm, and we just went from there.
On senior day, what has it meant to play in this uniform with this group of guys?
It's meant the world. It's meant a lot for me. Honestly, just coming here, not knowing what I was going to get myself into. Now, my last game in Death Valley, it means a lot of mixed emotions, but I'm happy to go out with this group of guys.
You've gotten your name in the Heisman conversation. You'll sit around and see how the votes turn out, whether or not you get an invite to New York. What does it mean, and what will it mean if you get to go to New York and your name talked about as one of the best players in college football?
Yeah, it'll mean a lot. Growing up watching college football for all those years, for 22 years of my life, wanted to be like those guys. You got the RG3 guys win the